Hello all, and welcome to this Friday evening's beer review, or Friday afternoon. It's 5:30. I'm going to dub this beer review the well, a lot has happened. My landlady's pet duck died. Um, I'm going to miss that duck. I really enjoyed that duck's presence, uh, as opposed to the dogs. um, and yeah. So, what is it that we're reviewing? So, ironically, over the past week, I've been having kind of um, a ongoing YouTube discussion with my fellow beer tuber, I guess is what we are, Japanese craft beer reviews, about passion fruit. And um, I didn't intend to do this, but apparently, yeah. So, Lilikoi is a type of passion fruit. I just learned this, like this week. Uh, I didn't know, they were essentially the same fruit. Lilikoi is yellow passion fruit, a yellow passion fruit varietal. And yeah, I don't know if they taste differently. I've never actually had like a physical passion fruit, but I've had, well, I shouldn't say had because I didn't eat it, but I've handled, opened, and tasted processed like Lilikoi. Um, but so I don't know if it's different from like the rest of passion fruit flavor wise or aroma wise. It is physically different. It's yellow as opposed to sort of darkish orange purple. So yeah. Um, and why don't you eat lilikoi slash passion fruit? Because, well, one, you can. I know people who do. But when you open it up, it's basically just like a mass of seeds and this really slimy, sweet and tart pulp, which is edible. But do you really want to just go and scoop that out, go and get all that pulp out, and then spit out a bunch of seeds? I don't. It's kind of a hassle. Apparently, the seeds are edible, but who wants to eat seeds? I mean, they're the seeds. They just don't look appetizing to me. I mean, then again, I do eat like dragon fruit and like cassava melon, which also you just eat the seeds, but they're a lot smaller than passion fruit seeds or lilikoi seeds. So yeah, this is me just talking about fruit for a couple minutes. Anyways, this is Lilikoi Witbier from Kona Brewing, 5.4 ABV. And yeah, let's go ahead and read the back, shall we? Paddler's Paradise. Kauai's Napali coast is a paddler's dream. Towering green cliffs and waterfalls plunge into the Pacific, where epic canoe races glide along the coast. Inspired by this wild beauty, Lilikoi Kea is Lilikoi. So that's how you're technically supposed to pronounce it in Hawaiian because the Okina's there at the end. Lilikoi Kea is a refreshing and lively wheat beer with a hint of tropical passion fruit. Hit of tropical passion fruit. Ah, paradise. So yeah, this one's brewed in Hawaii. You can tell they use the Hawaii style aluminum cans. It's come probably cheaper. They used to be brewed in California and shipped to Hawaii, but it's probably cheaper and quicker now just to have it made in Hawaii. And brew date on this one is 07/20/25. So pretty fresh, I'd have to say. And of course, this is going into the Belgian glass. So yeah, let's pour this one out. Okay. So, a hazy, well-carbonated pale yellow. Actually more of a golden yellow now that I got the light kind of going through it, as opposed to having the light behind me. With a thick, foamy white head. It's dissipating a bit. Oh yeah. So yeah, you get that lilikoi smell, that intense tropical fruit smell. I don't know. To me, lilikoi always smells a little bit more overripe than passion fruit does. Like it's got more of I don't know what the biochemical like term for it, but like that smell of ripeness to it. Whereas passion fruit smells more sweet. And that sort of smell of ripeness blends well with the phenolic notes of the Belgian yeast. Definitely Belgian yeast used in this. Yeah, that head's dissipating pretty quickly there. So kind of overripe notes, lilikoi notes, um, passion fruit notes too. I mean, they are related. They're similar. I kind of find them slightly different. Phenolic notes. And underneath that, just a hint of wheat and funk. The fruitiness, the fruit adjunct is definitely much more apparent in the nose than otherwise. Let's see here, my light must be off if I keep on getting, that blurriness. Okay, onto the palate now. Despite its strength in the nose, it's actually not that strong on lilikoi on the palate. So the finish, definite wheat and funk there. You get that wheat malt lasting on the finish with top note of that Belgian yeast. Up front, cloves, coriander spice. Yeah, the yeast is really dominant in the front to mids. You don't really get much of the malting there into the finish. Definitely more clove than bubblegum, but it is kind of a little bit bubblegum there, especially in the top note of the finish. Despite the sweetness of the bouquet too, it's also fairly dry and has a hint of tartness on the palate in the mids to finish. What sweetness there is really emerges very briefly in the mid to finish. Yeah. So there isn't much flavor complexity here, but I do find like the way it transitions um, and differentiates itself in between, the sort of bouquet and the palate tastes, as well as a transition over the palate. Pretty interesting. Definitely not as nuanced or as fine as like the more traditional Belgian witbier, but I enjoy. Yes, it warms up a bit. The Lilikoi is starting to show up in the top note up front. That nice kind of overripe tropical fruit smell. It's hard to explain. I mean, when you smell it, you kind of know you'll know what I mean when I'm talking about it. It's not an unpleasant smell. It's just like an intense smell of ripening fruit. I don't know how else to put it. Almost like a white wine sort of note, fruity white wine sort of note briefly in the mids as well. Yeah, now that wheat's kind of coming wider in the finish. Yeah, interesting. Again, not too complex, but interesting. I guess that would be my summation of it. I need to stop repeating myself. I need to go and condense. Get myself like some of the other beer reviewers here, kind of keep themselves to between 5 to 8 minutes, and don't really talk too much about their lives either. But this is basically how I express myself this through beer reviews. So yeah. So this is probably, a seasonal release. Um, so it'll probably be on the shelves in Hawaii and the mainland, and possibly further. I don't know how far Kona Brewing distributes, but they are the largest brewery in Hawaii by volume. If they're kind of difficult to say if they are true craft, or they've been partially owned by large corporations for quite some time. So is that true craft? Well, I mean, they're still kind of majority owned by the brewer itself. So and I don't really like to debate it too much. Uh, I mean, when you look at the grand scheme of things, it's like, is it good beer or is it not good beer? That's what I care most about. But yeah, so unlike most Hawaii beers, you can probably get this one. That's what I'm trying to say. And if you can, try it. It's a pretty interesting one. And that, folks, is your beer review for this afternoon/evening. Cheers.